Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Cole. It's Sunday evening, September 8th, and this will be the announcement for week 4 for Political Science 1013, the first 8-week term for the fall 2024 term. Okay, everybody, what we have this week is that our midterm exam is coming up Saturday the 14th. It'll be available for 24 hours all day. Saturday, September 14th, 52 false and multiple choice items, much like exam number 1. Before that, we'll have a discussion on Wednesday and Thursday, the 11th and 12th. And I hope that this will be something of interest to everybody, especially the ag majors, but to students in general. There's been a lot of talk that operators don't want federal inspectors coming on to their premises to look at their operations for fear that they'll be shut down over bird flu. So this raises some federalism questions and some questions about the proper role of the federal government that I hope will be of interest to you. So we discuss that on the 11th and 12th. Now, for the exam, it will cover units 3 and 4. We've talked about unit 3 pretty thoroughly. I wanted to take just a little while to finish going through the Unit 4 class notes before the exam. Now you notice we go through the first 7 articles pretty thoroughly with a fine-tooth comb. Then we stop and talk about the Federalist Papers, especially numbers 10 and 51 that are found in the appendix to your textbook. So I hope you will look at those closely. They're in the appendix to the textbook, and I also go through them in the class notes. All right, then. We also look closely at the Bill of Rights and the amendments added after the Civil War, especially the 14th Amendment. We talk a good deal about, a little bit at least, about Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, the so-called Insurrection Clause, and the 25th Amendment, because both of those came up in public discussions with regard to Trump. Okay, so be sure you've looked at that. I hope you'll find that a pretty thorough introduction to the specifics of the Constitution, although we don't talk about every single provision. Then we finish up with a discussion of civil rights, civil liberties, and federalism, each of which gets one chapter in your textbook. Now, on civil liberties, free speech issues are pretty fraught these days. Students may be aware. And I try to talk in the class notes about some of the recent controversies that have come up. Okay. On federalism, we talk about how the relation between the feds and the states changed due to the New Deal. And we look at some specific areas of policy: health, secondary and elementary education, higher education, highways, and how the federal government and the states interact in all those different areas. It differs quite a bit from one area to the next. Now, about 12 to 15 of your 50 questions will come from the articles you have been assigned. Now, 2 of those have to do with the protests that have taken place over the course of the year, especially back in the spring, regarding the conflict between Israel and Hamas at Columbia University especially. We have one article from the Wall Street Journal, and remember, you had your instructions about accessing articles from the Wall Street Journal through the library. This is pretty much strictly a report from the campus of Columbia University going back to the spring about what has been going on. And then you have a commentary from Mr. Tassili of Reason Magazine about what he thinks the ground rules ought to be and what should be allowed during protest and what should not be. All right, now, in addition to that, you have 2 articles about the media. One of them is from the website prospect.org called Broken Chords. And what this article discusses is that TV is shifting more and more to streaming services. When I was your age, people mostly received television over the air Then we went to cable and satellite services. Now people are using their internet connection to allow them to stream television, and they'll buy streaming packages from different services. But these packages may not include much in the way of news programming. So what does that mean for news and public affairs going forward? Then we have a discussion from Megan McArdle in the Washington Post regarding President Biden and his performance at the June 27th debate that led to his withdrawal from as a candidate for re-election. And the question is, was the media asleep at the switch before that? Did they report aggressively enough about any decline he might have suffered before June 27th? All right, so that's what you're looking at for the midterm exam on Saturday. Class notes for units 3 and 4 and those 4 articles that we've asked you to access. And again, everyone, please go ahead and try those links if you have not done so already, and contact me if you have trouble reaching any of those articles. All right, so that should take us through the midterm on Saturday the 14th, and shortly after that I'll be speaking to you about the material for exam 3, which is going to cover the presidency and the federal bureaucracy. But right now we're concerned about getting through our discussion this Wednesday and Thursday, discussion 3, so we'll have gotten in 3 of our 5 discussions, and also the midterm exam on Saturday the 14th. So good luck, study hard, take it easy, and we hope everyone does well on the midterm exam.